Welcome to the Social Squad. I'm your host Jordan, and these are some new members. What's your name?
Hey, I'm Marco. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah.
I'm Paul. Glad to be joining you today.
Yeah. All right, guys. We're happy to have some new members here. Welcome. So what do you guys want to talk about today? The UConn.
Yeah, my suggestion was the UConn men's basketball winning the NCAA men's tournament.
Oh,
Social Squad marched in the parade. I missed out on it, but
I did
it
too.
was my idea to talk about
I
it.
wasn't able to make it, unfortunately.
I just wasn't paying attention to the link. It's embarrassing. Yeah, so I don't really watch college basketball, but I've heard it's very popular here. Especially UConn's a really good basketball team, both women's and men's. Are both
Especially
really
the
good.
women's.
Especially
Like,
the
I know
women.
the women's
Yeah.
have won, made it super far, or won too
They-
many times.
they-
I don't really watch too much either.
Yeah,
but-
I know they dominated the last
Yeah.
decade or two of college basketball for the most part.
Exactly, and I think UConn last time they won, the men's was 2014 or something.
Was it?
I might
Yeah.
be wrong.
I
but
thi-
it's
I
been a
th-
while.
Yeah, I know. I think what's his name? Oh, Kemba Walker went to UConn. It was who made it to the professional. And I think he was on the winning team, and that was 2011, 2012. But maybe they won after that.
I think it was 2004. Both the men and the women won, but I'm not exactly sure what
Oh,
year that
man.
was.
That must have been crazy if they
I
won
mean-
at the same time
I
at
mean,
UConn
Connecticut must have gone
campus.
crazy.
Yeah, UConn was going absolutely crazy.
Yeah.
I can imagine, yeah, because UConn's basically our Connecticut's team, because we only have our own team any professional sports is mostly all of New England or just Massachusetts is represented.
Yeah.
But in the
Yeah.
college level, UConn, we have that.
We do have, I think, some minor league teams like minor league hockey, minor league baseball.
Yeah.
So what sports do you like to watch?
Pretty much for me, it's mostly baseball. I mean, I'm a huge fan of the Mets.
The Mets.
Hell
You were
yeah.
telling me you wanted to go to some games, right? Do you have any planned yet or no?
No, I mean maybe in July. I mean,
Okay.
I've seen him
Yeah.
play at Fenway twice over
Yeah.
the past couple of years. So.
Okay.
I might have to get baseball now. Try as a kid. I couldn't get into it. It seemed a little long and dull for me when I went to a couple minor league games. Maybe if I went to a major league game, that my opinion might change.
It'll be a fun
They
experience.
did
It would be
make
fun.
some changes in the majors to try and speed up the game. They added a pitch clock. Like a pitcher will have 15 seconds to throw a pitch, and then
Yeah.
if there's runners on base, then he'll have 20 seconds.
Yeah.
If you're a batter getting to the batter's box, you have 9 seconds.
I was a very late arrival to the sports bandwagon. I think I first got into American football when I was 13, 14. That was the year before my favorite team, the Patriots, won against the Seahawks. But the recent year, I haven't enjoyed it as much. It's very slow, and I know the game's not as popular because the brain damage, the physicality of it, and it does start and stop a lot.
Yeah.
So really, basketball's my favorite sport now because it's really fast paced and doesn't really stop unless there's a very strong flagrant foul.
What's your favorite basketball team? I mean, I already know this, but I mean,
Celtics, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm very loyal to the New England or Connecticut, so I have
Yeah.
to root for them. Which to the begrudgance of my parents who are Knicks fans.
Oh, no.
But they're happy because not because the Knicks until this very recently have been good for a long time, but they're in the
Yeah.
playoffs this year, and they just won against the Cavs yesterday.
yeah, didn't the Kings play yesterday too, or
They
something?
did.
Yeah.
They beat the defending champions, the Warriors. That was the first playoff
What?
win in almost 17 years. It was the second longest drought
Yeah.
between victories of all time. I think it was 16 years, 350 days. The
Mm-hmm.
longest was the Wizards at 16 years, 360 days. So just 10 days left. So good on the Kings for winning. They're a young
Yeah.
team, and honestly, I hope they knock out the Dubs because they beat the Celtics in the finals last year.
All right.
Sorry if any Warriors fans are watching
Bringing
this.
it to Sacramento.
Sacramento, yeah.
Yeah.
Small market team of compared to LA and San Francisco in the state.
I see.
What about you, Morgan? Do you watch any sports really?
I mean, I don't actively watch sports, but I'm a big fan of football.
Yeah.
You know, the real football, the
Yeah.
one where you play with your
Not
feet.
soccer. That's
No, yep, soccer, but not American football. Anyway, I don't want to get conflicting here.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I guess for me it was my sports experience was a little different because I grew up in Ecuador, so very much like the only sport like you would watch in every single like TV channel was soccer or football. And back then, I honestly didn't like it. I was just too much. It was like everywhere. Like every single TV channel would be playing a game, the radio and everything. But I don't know. I guess like once I moved to the U.S. and I saw American football, which I guess I understand the appeal, but it's just not really for me.
Yeah.
I started to appreciate it more, and I think after this last World Cup, I very much fell back in love with it. So I just kind of keep up with like stats, from like where like the clubs in Europe where some of my favorite players are. So say like Paris Saint-Germain because like Messi and Mbappe are there, or like Real Madrid, Barcelona, and obviously World Cup. I was cheering for Argentina. France already won. I wanted Messi to win. He's one of my childhood athlete like idols, I guess you would say. Same with Cristiano Ronaldo, but he's in Saudi Arabia now. But I also like basketball. I like basketball. Like we always play, but I just don't keep up with it enough. So I'm still trying to decide on a team. And baseball, I enjoy, but again, I'm not deep into the world of it. I would like to. I just gotta, I guess like find more time to get more involved. But I do enjoy playing it.
I will mention the World Baseball Classic did get a record 400 million viewers.
That looks so fun.
Like completely dwarfed the World Series in terms of viewership.
Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even know they had like a World Classic. I found that out this year, and I guess it was because it canceled during COVID and stuff as well.
Right.
Yeah,
Right.
that's super cool.
Yeah, 2020 was canceled, so I mean, I don't know what exactly happened with the World Baseball Classic in 2016.
It's every 4 years, also.
3
right?
years, actually.
3 years.
3
Okay.
years.
I know Marco was talking about the World Series. The World Cup's gonna be coming to the U.S. I think
2026.
2026. Okay.
Oh yeah,
And
I'm definitely going to
you
the
talk about
final or
You want
something.
to try going there?
Yeah, I mean the tickets are probably going to be expensive, but
It'll be worth
hopefully life goes well and I
Forgive
have
me for not
the
being
means.
informed. What city is going to be hosting it?
For like for the World Cup, it's literally gonna be like all over the U.S., Mexico, and Canada. I think there's 2 stadiums in Canada, 2 in Mexico, and there's like a couple here in the U.S.
So it's more like a North American.
It's very much like a North American, but the U.S. is I guess having like the bulk of it.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that she's like we want a specific like country to like host it.
Yeah. I think it was kind of cool. They made it so like all these countries will host, and it's also cool because so usually there's 32 teams that go from all over the world. They pick like the best from South America, North America, Europe, Asia, Africa, exactly like all the continents. But now they're actually going. I think it's like 40 teams. So a couple more teams that traditionally would not get the chance to play are gonna have that opportunity.
Interesting. They did
Yeah.
that.
Right.
They did that in basketball when COVID first hit. They
Yeah.
They made something called a play-in tournament. I think in the before that it used to be the top 8 teams or it was the top 8 teams, and now it's the top 6 teams, and there's 4 teams that fight for 2 final playoff spots.
Okay.
Basically, so
Don't they also have a like a separate game like for the third place winner like the teams that lose in the semifinals,
I know I know I don't know what it's called, but I know what you're talking about.
because I know the Olympics they have it like the bronze medal game as they call it.
You get you get the bronze medals. Yep. And then 4th place, and then the final. Yeah, do they have so for like the baseball classic? Do you know how that works? Like what countries get chosen?
I mean, I think it's like 30 different teams, like U.S., Japan. I mean, those were the 2 teams that played in the final. Puerto Rico, Dominican Republic. I think
they're good,
Hungary had a team.
all of the Caribbean teams. Yep.
Team, or maybe it was Austria. They had a team of, like school teachers and like electricians, just like average common working folk. I mean, it's not a popular sport in Europe.
Yeah.
It's not.
no.
I think like Caribbean definitely because I mean you see like the teams here in the U.S. for baseball, a lot of the players are Cuban, Dominican, Puerto Rican,
Yeah,
so
you would see
it's very much popular there.
You're just following the path of Roberto Clemente.
What's up?
They're just following the path of Roberto Clemente.
Oh wait, who is that? Actually, I don't know who that is.
He was this legendary outfielder for the Pittsburgh Pirates. I think it was like
Okay.
the first Puerto Rican player to break into the majors.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
So the tragic part was there was an earthquake I think in Ecuador,
Okay.
or something. I don't know if maybe you heard about it.
No, I mean there's a couple
Somewhere in
earthquakes
there,
in Ecuador.
sometime I think it
time.
was like the late 70s or early 80s. He
Yeah.
was on a plane bringing relief supplies from Puerto Rico to Ecuador, and it went down just after takeoff.
Oh my
Sadly.
God, that's
Yeah.
And I,
Yeah, I mean that's flight. It's a cool invention, but it's definitely you
Yeah.
can't do much with that.
it
if
is the
something goes
safest
wrong.
form of air travel, though.
It is. It
I,
is.
just, I
But-
know. I just came back from a flight. I went to New Orleans, and we basically went on 3 different flights. We took a plane down to South Carolina, stayed in Myrtle Beach for a day. We were visiting my stepbrother and his wife. Took the plane down to New Orleans, and then we took the final, trip from New Orleans straight back to Connecticut.
Yeah. What was? How was your vacation?
Oh.
What were like some of the highlights actually? Talk about it.
Alright, so yeah, a few highlights is we went on like a ferry on the Mississippi River.
Yeah.
We went to Jackson Square, saw a statue of Andrew Jackson, seventh President of the United States. We saw this St. Louis Cathedral, which is one of the big attractions right there. And we mostly just walked around, visited the sites, took in the
Yeah.
scenes. We went to a jazz bar where they actually played jazz music as we
Nice.
just chilled in there.
Yeah.
Ate a lot of good food that you cannot get here in Connecticut. A lot of Cajun food.
Yeah.
I tried jambalaya gumbo for the first time. I tried a crawfish roll, which was delicious. I had a beignet, which is one of the most popular desserts down there. It's like a donut without any holes in it. But yeah, it was really good. I really wonder why a lot of people down south are kind of like obese because that food's really good.
The food. Yeah. I mean,
Yeah, you eat a lot of that. And you don't like
Southern
work out.
fried
Things can
chicken.
happen, yeah.
I mean, it sounds good. Like if you like sort
Yeah,
of indulge
Cajun
in
fries,
yourself.
something.
Yeah.
Oh, shrimp po' boy. That was a good sandwich.
Yeah.
Shrimp, yeah.
Either that or they could come out to be like really, really muscular because in the bayou of Louisiana, they will eat alligator. But because it's a reptile, half the fat and twice the protein of beef.
That was the one things I didn't.
Twice the protein. Wow.
I think that was the only thing I didn't try while I was down there. Though I kind of want to try banging around it, but there are some places that have alligator down there, but it's not the same as getting down south. But
Is that like a common thing for them to eat like
I
down
don't know.
there?
Well, I mean, when you're dirt poor, and I mean, it's the only thing you can find to eat.
Yeah, I went on a strong tour down there. You actually saw people that were living right on the river's edge, and you saw they actually still had some damage, some like houses or like boats that were still like washed out from Katrina all the way back in 2005, and they never built them or like got them out of the water. Oh, and they had like above ground like cemeteries. That was very interesting. I didn't know. Apparently that's the way like they buried people in the Mediterranean. It's probably all the Cajun culture from down there. It was interesting. Yeah, it's hard to describe. I didn't really.
Yeah.
I didn't see it up close, but we took a bus down there and we saw them.
Gotcha.
But yeah, it was a really fun trip. Glad I went there.
Yeah.
I can't imagine.
To the bucket list.
I can't imagine living in New Orleans because they built a city on a swamp that's below sea level. That's right out in between an ocean, a river, and a lake. So that's probably very dangerous for flying, especially with global warming. Or
I mean, I guess I didn't think about it, for like
in the long term, yeah.
of,
I mean, a lot of states are like that. They build them around the coastline because the beaches.
The only part of the city that's above sea level is the French Quarter.
Fun fact.
Actually, did you come across anybody like speaking French there? Because I know there's like in that area, like specific area, there's some people who speak French just because.
Not personally. I didn't know.
Yeah?
I didn't know any French speaking.
I think it would actually be more Cajun. Cajun being like a variation of French.
It's a dialect, yeah.
Gotcha.
The,
Yeah,
thing,
French
the,
English.
the thing is about Cajun culture. Originally, they came from French Canada. Then
Yeah.
the British took over, and so they came south.
Yeah.
Okay.
And that's basically where that Cajun culture comes from.
Marco was just telling me how it's kind of like a disaster in Connecticut because some countries part of the country speaks French and other parts speak English because it was because it was owned by the French and owned by the British. So I know a lot of people that are like probably bilingual. They probably speak well French and
There are countries
English.
though where they speak like many different languages.
yeah.
I think in Indonesia they speak like over 200 different languages throughout the
Oh my
country.
god.
Yeah, but I guess the interesting part about Canada, I mean, again, this is mostly like one of my professors in school would tell me it's, usually have this stereotype here in the U.S. that Canadians are very friendly and nice, but I guess when it comes to like the language politics, right, like the English speaking versus the French speaking areas, what happens is the French speaking like people feel like they're not giving enough priority. Right, because most of even though like all the government documents and everything are in both languages, English is definitely the language that gets pushed the most. So there's like this whole conflict happening, where people, I guess, think about it like the way like the U.S. is politically divided, but for
Right.
like the language, to advocate which language should be spoken and where, and like if you're an English speaking in the French area, you might get not treated the best, and like
Right.
vice versa,
Is-
which is interesting
Right.
to me because I did not know that. I've always figured like, oh, cool, they have two languages.
Right,
plus-
because I know, like the eastern parts of Canada, Newfoundland, they want to only speak Canadian French. They want to abandon English,
Yeah,
which
like
is
the
crazy
roots.
because you can drive like I don't know, I think it's like 6 hours from like Montreal or 8.5 hours from Quebec City down to Queens, New York, and you'll
Yeah.
find that there's more languages spoken in Queens than anywhere else in the world.
Oh yeah.
Makes sense. Yeah,
New
Queens
York
is very
City.
culturally diverse. Yeah, like
Yeah.
that's where like all like the immigrants like basically all the a majority of them went to New York through. It used to be like I know my ancestors from Poland came from Ellis Island in the early 1900s, and then we found our way down to Connecticut.
Yeah.
um,
How's your Polish, Jordan? No, I'm kidding.
I think I know like one word.
Nah, it's a hard language. It's a hard language.
Yeah, I
can't
was trying to learn
blame you.
Spanish on Duolingo. I tried
Yeah.
Polish for a while, and I'm like, this is very, very hard.
Yeah,
But I would love to go to Poland someday.
definitely.
That's definitely on my bucket list to go. Oh yeah, I was gonna say like Canada's like a very big country, right? But I know like a
Massive.
like the like really the area like right above like where New York is. That's like where like the most of the population is. Like Quebec, Ontario, and like out west. It's a little similar to like the U.S. where like it's kind of sparsely populated.
Yeah.
Because in the Midwest, it's mostly the East Coast, and you got the West Coast, obviously California. But in the middle, there's not a lot of people are in there. It's pretty interesting.
Yeah.
It goes.
Similar geography. Well, not similar, but just population-wise, big cities with a lot of people. Then, they're spread out areas.
Yeah,
with not so
out,
many.
yeah, on the country. So yeah, that vacation to New Orleans was fun. Have you guys been anywhere on vacation? Any cool
Yeah,
sites?
I'll take this mantle first. My family just has this habit of going to Point Judith, Rhode Island, practically every other year.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I mean,
What do you guys usually do?
Yeah, you guys.
yeah. I mean, sightseeing. I mean, I like to do some sea fishing myself.
Oh,
Like I had a 20-foot collapsible rod. I mean, it fell apart.
I thought you were saying you called like a 20-foot fishman. What fish would you catch? A whale shark or something?
I mean, you got to cast against the
Yeah, I'm
waves.
just catching.
Yeah.
Like could cast well over like
That's a whale
could cast well over 100 feet easily.
Yeah.
Very awesome. What about you, Marco?
I mean, vacation. That's usually my trips are shorter, but I guess it wasn't really a vacation, but one of the highlights was in 2019, right before COVID. I went to study abroad in Italy, and that was really cool. I mean, I checked out a lot of places, but I think the highlight was definitely Florence.
Florence.
Yeah, I was learning Italian there, and I don't know, just that city. It's so peaceful, and there's so many historical sites. We got like Dante Alighieri, obviously, who wrote. He got exiled from Florence because of like political, just being like essentially against like what was happening then at the time.
Oh,
It was
okay,
one
that
of
makes
the
sense.
speaking out against, but also. So during his exile, he wrote, a bunch of cool stuff, like the Divine Comedy. So that's a trilogy of books, essentially. And just seeing like Dante's, they have like little Easter eggs everywhere, like little statues, like monuments. They have the museum. Then you got, the cathedral. I don't know. The name is escaping my mind right now, but
Yeah,
I don't know. Just walking around there, being there, like sitting in the sunset by like Ponte Vecchio, which is like I guess like Old Bridge is a translation. Just really cool stuff. I would love to go
Did you
back.
see what's called the Statue of David, the one by Michelangelo?
So that was unfortunate. I saw the. I guess a replica would be the best term to use of it outside, but I actually didn't manage to have enough time to go into the museum. It's called the Uffizi. That's a museum. I didn't have time to go see the original one.
I mean, I
It's
mind if I ask a
unfortunate.
question here? So, did you like actually see the Vatican or something?
I did see the Vatican, but that one's in Rome.
Right.
Yeah. So the Vatican, it's crazy. I don't know. It's just, I was trying to keep up with everything. We were getting a tour, right?
Right.
But they were moving fast, and there were a lot of people. So I was
bet.
actually trying to take it all in, but it was just like, running like everywhere. But there are so many monuments, so much art, like
you s-
everything.
You see, speaking, I know I saw New Orleans being on the water. Did you see Venice?
I did see Venice.
Venice,
Yeah,
yeah.
Venice. It's interesting.
Interesting.
I guess kind of like New Orleans, you were saying, it's sinking.
I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, it's sinking.
It's like on
so-
it's like on the ocean. Yeah.
like if you want to see Venice, I would say go and do it.
Yeah.
But yeah, Venice, that highlight was definitely going on a gondola.
Yeah.
There's a whole story behind it. I don't want to take too much
Yeah.
time from here, but
If you're going to Italy, go see
Yeah.
Venice soon, because it might not be above water in like 40, 50 years.
it won't
Well,
be there for
probably
longer.
won't be.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, you better learn to scuba dive.
Yeah, you better learn to.
Yeah, or I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
if you go on like one of the high rain seasons, wearing like boots because you're definitely gonna be walking on water basically.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, like yeah, New Orleans is I'm like the cities that kind of overwhelms me a lot. Called Century Overload. I grew up in the suburbs, so
Yeah.
I like more like low key vacations. Like relaxing. Like my family and I, we took our favorite vacation spot's probably Maine now. Up in
Maine,
like
yeah.
country. We went there in 2021 actually, and we're actually going back there in this September. And
Nice.
I'm gonna make it a goal of mine. I was very disappointed last time we went. I didn't get to see a moose in person. I'm gonna go on a moose tour and hopefully see one.
Nice. That sounds like a
And
solid goal.
probably go fishing, stay in the docks. Yeah,
How long are you guys planning on being there in September? Do you know?
5 days I think.
5 days. Okay. Solid.
think.
Solid.
Yeah,
I think
it'll
you
be
get a
fun.
good amount of stuff in.
So they probably go ride the ATVs again.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, we did last time. I think I'll probably drive one myself honestly this time.
Do it.
Yeah, I gotta do it.
Yeah.
Thanks. All
I
right.
like the Palpatine reference that you squeezed in there.
Yeah, you know.
Oh,
yeah.
man.
So like I know like Marco and I, we've seen a couple of new movies recently. Have you seen any? Do you like watching movies, Jake?
Yeah, I haven't actually been to maybe a movie theater since, I don't know, they came up with the last Jackass movie. But,
Okay.
I mean,
Okay.
Do you like stream movies though? What's like the last movie you
movies?
watched?
Yeah.
to be honest, I can't remember.
No.
So, I mean,
Yeah.
you get back to me.
Nah, you're
when
good.
I-
Are you
Yeah.
more of like a TV show guy, or are you
Yeah,
just like lately
yeah,
been like busy and
Just more into gaming.
gaming?
Yeah.
Gotcha. What have you been playing lately?
Forza Horizon 5.
Nice.
That's good.
Yeah, getting that tour of Mexico in the game. What's your
uh,
favorite car in the game?
I don't know. 1997 Mazda RX-7.
Nice choice. Nice. I like that.
He's the car guy. I don't know what that is.
Wide,
Yeah.
wide body, massive wing on the back.
Yeah.
Alright,
I mean, that's how I
Okay.
roll with that.
I respect
Yeah,
that.
you got the Dorito engine.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I
Real
know.
life, probably get 70,000 miles and it's over for you.
Yeah.
More
But-
like 40,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I've always been kind of like a relatively like simple game where I play like 2 or 3 games at a time, and most of them are usually like Call of Duty. Usually I play GTA sometimes. Right now I'm trying to, and I'm a completist too. I like to gain all the achievements, complete 100% story mode.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always have to complete the campaign Call of Duty before I start playing online. And right now I'm
get
playing.
that.
I'm playing Lego Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker. I'm trying to get. I beat the story mode. I'm trying to get all the kyber bricks and complete 100% of that. And I'm also playing Call of Duty online right now. I'm trying to get unlock all the camos for the guns.
Nice.
Yeah, they good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
with his
the grind, right? Like they have like time events and everything for Call of Duty, double
time-
XP and stuff like that.
Yeah, they have like Warzone things, battle
Yeah.
packs. I just used my money to buy like some skins, and the 2 skins were actually operators, which are characters, and 2 of them were characters that are in the story mode, Alejandro and Valera.
Yeah.
So I actually bought those. But yeah, it's nice. Sometimes you have to get double kills. Sometimes you have to get point blank kills. You have to
Yeah.
get like
Like the different
you have
objectives.
to have the gun mount against the wall. Sometimes
Yeah.
different objectives. They make it challenging in that verse, but
Gotcha.
it's fun. I'm getting closer and closer in my free time. What I do
Nice. Yeah.
because he wants.
Do you also like to customize like your cars, do like paint jobs and stuff, kind of like how you would Call of Duty with camos?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I especially do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
Yeah. What's your favorite car, Marco?
My favorite car. I mean, that depends,
Mm-hmm.
but I guess we'll go for not the I guess like more like the built not bought, right? Because those are two different things. So I guess I have to go with like a Nissan Skyline GTR, the R34 specifically. That's the one. If you watch Fast and Furious, that Paul Walker drives, the blue one. Yeah, I think. I mean, it's actually cool. Like they're still. You can't import them legally to the U.S., but I think starting 2024, you'll be able to. Problem is, they're gonna go up in price significantly.
Actually, you can, and if you pay $18,000.
Yeah, but if you want to avoid like that fee, but then like once they're legal, they're probably gonna go up in price.
Yeah, I mean, like, what are you saving really at that point?
Exactly, you're right. I wish I had the money to just get one now, but
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I don't have the car now. The car now that you guys have, but like last year, I did a dream ride through Special Olympics, second P, and I got to drive a ride in. I should say I didn't drive a ride in a Lamborghini.
How was
And
that?
that was an amazing experience, and it's funny. I got paired with a random driver. It was really random, and he's like, "Oh, what car do you want to drive?" And I drive. "Oh, I want to drive me a Lamborghini, but I'm okay with anything outside." He didn't say anything, and all of a sudden he's like, "Here, is this good enough for my good enough?" And it was actually a Lamborghini. I was like so stoked to drive in it.
That's so cool.
Yeah, good experience.
All right.
All right. Well, it was good. Good having you guys join the Source Squad.
It was fun.
Appreciate it. This was a great conversation.
Yeah, looking forward to having more conversations with you guys. Well, this has been the Source Squad. I'm your host Jordan, and these are my co-hosts Marco and Jacob. Hope you have a good day. Bye everyone.
Take care.
Peace.
Take care. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah.